and sustainability, where sport is not just about competition this time round, but about conservation. And across the world and here at home, we get to see marathons evolving left, right, and center as powerful tools of collective action. And this particular platform is for collective action in terms of climate, with community engagement and environmental restoration. So we are having the Chambogo University partnering with Every Birthday Tree initiative, hosting a marathon with a purpose, restoration and environmental awareness. And one of the people behind this initiative is having a sit down with us here morning at NTV, Dennis Daniel Semgenyi. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very good.
First, tell us about, I know that you are very big on trees and planting trees, and you do have an initiative of planting a tree for every birthday. How many trees have you planted yourself?
Well, quite many. In the past 3 years, planted over 100 just for myself.
Just for yourself? There's
Yes.
100 trees just for yourself. Naruga Priscilla Regina, you need to pull up his socks. Okay, so talk to us about the idea and how you conceptualized infusing sports with environmental conservation.
Well, thank you NTV for hosting me. I am Dr. Dennis Daniel Semgenyi. I am author of Planting a Legacy, the EBTDI Guide, and pioneer of the Every Birthday Tree Day initiative, which unites Ugandans to plant trees equal to their age every birthday. So we actually have a marathon organized in conjunction with Chambogo University. And let me begin by explaining what the Every Birthday Tree Day initiative is all about. EBTDI is built on a simple but powerful idea. Every individual plants a number of trees equal to their age on their birthday. And what does this do? It converts celebration into responsibility and time into environmental impact, and personal milestones into national restoration. So over time, a life is no longer just lived, it is planted into the future. Now, when that philosophy meets an institution, that is where transformation becomes real. We are deeply grateful to Chambogo University for making a deliberate institutional decision to allocate over 10 acres of land to support the EBTDI tree planting launch and long-term environmental program. Now, that is not just symbolic, that is also structural commitment. Working together with the Chambogo University Engineering Society, this becomes a powerful convergence of vision, youth energy, and institutional backing.
Okay, so with the marathon happening tomorrow, walk us through how you intend to actually marry people running and people planting trees.
Well, this is not just about a race. It is a living system of impact. And a typical marathon ends at the finish line. Ours begins there, because the real question is, what is the value of a run if the ground we run on is disappearing? At Chambogo University, at this event, partnering with the EBTDI, every kilometer translates into trees planted, trees that are monitored, and ultimately owned by communities. So instead of medals alone, participants earn something far more enduring: oxygen for future generations, shade for communities, a restored ecosystem. This marathon converts human energy into environmental regeneration.
Okay. On that note, how are you going to be hitting the targets? I'm talking about number of trees that you expect to plant. I'm talking about hectares expected to be restored. I know you've talked about the 10 hectares, but also at the end of the day, community being reached out to.
Well, depends on the numbers that turn up. But we already have very many students participating in the event, and we invite all Ugandans to come on board. This time, we'll start by planting 71 trees in commemoration of the Kabaka's belated birthday. So we target to plant over 1,000, possibly at this single event. And we expect that anyone that will be making a birthday tomorrow will be able to plant trees for them.
Okay. There's some people who are interested in really running for an initiative and for a good cause. How can they be part of this initiative?
Well, it's actually very simple. You buy a run kit. It's from 10,000 for the ordinary, and we have corporate kits for 25,000. So you simply just buy a kit and then participate.
Okay. How do we buy the kits, and what time will this whole exercise be taking place tomorrow? We're
having a long day, I mean the whole day for the event, and anyone can purchase a kit from the university. Right.
Kyambogo University.
Kyambogo University.
Okay, all right. So what time is Naroga expected to be there?
From 8 a.m., I think we'll go up to around 3 p.m.
Okay.
Right.
For the students who have signed up, how are they perceiving this initiative as a way to actually conserve the environment?
Well, we appreciate the Kyambogo Engineering Society, who have done really good work in mobilizing the students. Now, this inspiration came from a contradiction we rarely question. We celebrate life passionately, but we neglect the systems that sustain it. So from the EBTDI philosophy, celebration must carry responsibility, or it becomes consumption. So we have done research and also taken it to various institutions. If we institutionalize the planting of trees, for example, you have NTV here, and we know that CEOs celebrate birthdays every now and then. What if now NTV decided to find space where the staff could plant trees? That's what we have done with the university. We have approached them and engaged the Kyambogo University administration and requested to work with them. And we are lucky that they have allocated land where students who are celebrating their birthdays can use this space and the land to plant as many trees as possible. So the students really love it, and integrated with sports, they really feel passionate about the project. And being that we are working with the engineering society, engineers really determine how our future looks like. But they also, most of the time, really ignore what environmental engineering is all about. So the students from the engineering department have come on board and really picked interest in the project, and we will be working together a long way.
Okay. Right. On that note, there's someone who could be wondering, oh, my birthday is coming up next, and I've always been looking for something unique to do. Maybe you can take up this birthday challenge of planting trees. Which trees would you recommend they plant?
Well, they could plant fruit trees. Could plant trees that have medicinal value. Could plant trees that have they could plant trees that have can be used for timber. Well, we don't really have specificity as to which trees can be planted, but depends on what you really want. You may want to plant mangoes. You may want to plant fig trees. Well, it's all up to you. You decide. Yes.
Okay. On that note, Doctor, what would be your call to action beyond this initiative when it comes to environmental conservation? It's a big concern. People in Kyambogo and Kampala may be able to understand it and perceive it, but to the rural communities that also need that same education and that same support.
Well, we are thinking beyond tree planting as an activity. We are thinking in layers of impact, immediate impact. Yes, we plant trees, and tomorrow we shall plant 71 trees in honor of the Kabaka's 71 years. But that raises a deeper question. Can symbolic acts shape national behavior? Yes, if they are repeated, owned, and scaled, then we also think in terms of structural impact. The most important element here is the role of institutions. Chambogo University has not just hosted us, it has provided land. And land means permanence, continuity, accountability. So what is being created is not a planting site. It is a living environmental system embedded in an academic institutions. Students don't just attend, they inherit responsibility. It in a way, really creates national impact. The real goal is cultural, to make environmental responsibility habitual, because if a country plants trees occasionally, it will lose them consistently. So we are building a system where birthdays equals trees, and sports can also equal trees, identity, trees, and over time, participation becomes restoration. Now, we also ask how can local communities get involved beyond the race day. This is where ABTDI becomes fundamentally different. Most initiatives focus on participation. We focus on ownership. From our model, a tree without a custodian is a future loss. So we ensure trees are assigned to people, not just planted by crowds. So at Chambogo, the university becomes a custodial hub. Students and EBTDI scouts become continuity agents, and communities are integrated into maintenance. And the guiding question is, who is responsible for that tree 6 months from now? If that question is not answered, then it is not environmental work. It's just a ceremony. Mm-hmm. So in that regard, we encourage Ugandans to really make tree planting a habit. It should be a sort of a custom, one that you can do every now and then. Whenever your child is celebrating a birthday, plant a tree for them rather than just cutting cake and candle and burning candle. You could plant fruit trees for them. You could plant any kind of trees for them. Okay. If you start planting from when a child is 1 year, by the time they are 30, they could be having a forest.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Dennis Semgenyi, for bringing us up to speed. The Chambogo University Climate Conservation Run is on tomorrow. You can pick yourself up a kit at Chambogo University, 10,000 Ugandan shillings or 25,000 Ugandan shillings. But the beauty about it is after sweating, you actually get to plant a tree that will clean up the air in the years to come. But also, on your upcoming birthday, you can be able to plant trees all of your age. Now, I do have Ivan Walnyano that is joining me from NTV.